75% of the country says you're on the wrong direction. You're going in the wrong direction. And their number one issue is the economy. You should listen to them because that's what it is.
Well, Miami-Dade was flipped by DeSantis. He lost it in his first governor's race, and then he won Miami-Dade in the second. So maybe we're seeing a little bit of that in Miami-Dade right now. We'll see.
Chris, do you want to be the TikTok sign for us?
We're coming up on the next poll closing. It's a good one because North Carolina, we should start getting raw vote totals right away. North Carolina is one of the fastest states, even despite Hurricane Helene. They're doing a really great job. The Secretary of State's office there as we wait for the poll closing right now. College votes, and it will be a decisive one, potentially. The Fox News Decision Desk says it's too early to call.
Also too early to call Ohio, but former President Trump has a lead in our Fox News voter analysis. As we mentioned, we're also watching the Senate race there. Bernie Moreno is the GOP candidate running against Brown, and we can say that Fox News does project that Trump will win West Virginia. Not a very big surprise there. Obviously, the former governor, or the current governor, is running for the Senate as well. So
we'll expect that to be a quick call as well. If you look at the race, for 270, the Electoral College votes needed to win the presidency, now ticking up. With that last call, the former president at 23 and Vice President Harris at 3 throughout the night. That will go up as we make calls. The biggest story in West Virginia, as we said, is the Senate race, where longtime Senator Joe Manchin is retiring. Democrat, now independent. Fox News can project that Jim Justice will flip this seat to the Republicans. That win puts the GOP 1 seat away.
Against Republican businessman Bernie Moreno, and we're watching that one very closely as well. That could potentially be another flip. It's a toss-up race at the moment. The balance of power looks like this in terms of what we have fed in so far into the data at this point. We've got 40 Republicans, 1 seat flipped. That's the West Virginia seat. Jim Justice will be the new senator. He was the former governor from the state of West Virginia, and Democrats have 29 right now. You can a lot of spaces still to be filled in over on the Senate side.
We're following a number of gubernatorial races around the country.
Now let's go over to Bill Hammer and get a sense of how all of this stacks up.
That Florida story. Really interesting.
Yeah, it is. Why don't we start there this time? And good evening again. Just past 7:30 here on the East Coast. I was looking at Miami right now. Miami-Dade, the last time as a county, they voted for a Republican. So we'll see how that holds up here. Now the thing with
Tommy responded, "Black women are stupid, always wanting to be victims."
Look at right now is Georgia, and you know Georgia's one of these states that's gone through a bit of a realignment, kind of like North Carolina, kind of like Arizona, and some others that we've looked at, and and down here is Brantley County. Now this was Trump's best performing rural county in 2020, and he's doing a number right now again. I'll just go back to 2020, 4 years ago, and watch this. You know, the percentage there was, so he's doing a tick better. Raw vote here, 6,200 4 years. we can show you a little of the realignment that we're talking about here. And if you look, in 2016, I'd give it to him, right? 5 points 8 years ago. But things seem to change in 2020 and change in a significant way when Joe Biden went in there and took the state by 0.2 percentage points, raw vote of 11,779. All right. Now, so this is where we are now. Now, just, you know, with a lot of that vote out there, Trump's got a lead of 22. Points, and that's going to change throughout the night, but we just want to let you know what's happening there. Let's look at the vote difference for North Carolina. Similar story, maybe less of an advantage for the Republicans, but this is all, you know, this is all red. You look at what Bush and Kerry did in 2004. That was easy. That wasn't a battleground at all. This is where Barack Obama performed so well. Took the Tar Heel State just by so much there, okay, in North Carolina, but was able to pull it off. Let's come back to 2020 right now, and I can show you what I'm seeing there. Let's go ahead and clear this, all right? Yeah.
North Carolina, you look at the counties you are following, Wake County, Raleigh.
Yes.
There's just such a population shift. You know, more than 1 million people have shifted down there, and it's a different crowd. So that's why maybe you have a different electorate in North Carolina that Democrats are looking to.
Yeah, I look at Wake County. We can show you on the board in a second here. I look at Guilford, too. That's Greensboro. A lot of folks campaigning there. Kamala Harris was there. Donald Trump was there. You know, young folks go there to go to school and find a job as well. And we'll see about Mecklenburg, which is Charlotte. You know, Mecklenburg, Carl, is that, I mean, that's a county that Democrats have tried to really capture. And they're able to win the county, but not by big enough of a margin.
Major counties around Atlanta, Wake, Henrico, Richmond, Chesterfield, and Virginia. It's amazing and I don't understand exactly why, but black turnout in Mecklenburg has kept the Democrats.
Like it was going to be okay.
Yeah,
it looked like it was in good shape for.
Yep. To Martha here, and I don't know how much of that vote we've got in, but we're so wrecked by this hurricane with a net of 43 or so. He lost 43, but a net of 220,000 votes. Voting vans in western North Carolina to make sure that nobody gets ripped off. From casting a vote on behalf of Helene.
You know, Laura, the Harris campaign is pointing to
Oh, man. This shit keeps freezing.
And it will be powerful.
Okay, that's one to watch. Thank you, panel. The count. One of the biggest battleground prizes of the night. Our special coverage continues here on Fox. Next.
Ranchers and farmers.
No imports. Just 100% American born, raised, and harvested meat. Delivered directly to you.
We select only the finest cuts that we would feed our family.
Visit goodranchers.com and discover American meat delivered. You believe you were sent by God?
Yes.
Repent! Come and be baptized in the River Jordan! I speak in the name of the one true God!
While you watch Fox News, stay connected at foxnews.com with live blogs, interactive features, and voter analysis. Foxnews.com, your ultimate second screen.
Hi, Grandma. I played baseball today.
Oh, that's great.
What position did you play?
First base.
That's what Grandpa used to play.
When our hearing wouldn't allow us to use a regular phone, it made us feel isolated.
It became difficult to communicate with our...
No.
family.
Clear Captions was an easy solution for us.
Clear Captions provides captions on a phone like captioning on your TV, so you can see what the caller is saying live as they say it.
Making it easy to understand and respond immediately.
There is no insurance or Medicare required. Clear Captions service is provided at no cost to you through a federally funded program. We deliver, install, and train you on how to use your phone, all at no cost to you.
Give your loved ones the independence and connection they deserve.
Call now to see if you qualify to get a Clear Captions phone at no cost to you.
Call 1-800-275-1095. That's 1-800-275-1095.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on Deal Dash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo...
What are you waiting for? Get on with it.
Yes, Father.
Motley crew, misfit desperados, stand the tide of the battle, etch their names in history. The odds may be against us, but I'll tell you this for free. Dear God. This ends here and now! collectively take credit for that because we worked as a team. We used our hearts and our minds to defeat the enemy, and the community will also accomplish. What a classic forward pressure. Hurrah!
The linchpin. The linchpin of our great republic, the voters' voices.
I want all Democratic supporters out of this country. I want the Democratic Party to end. Never mind.
All along the full political spectrum.
Look at
and over
this.
the next several hours, you will hear their take on the race for president and what the issues were that swayed them one way or the other. And the other person who's with us tonight.
If she wins, she cheated. All on Twitter, and they trying, Emily.
All those managers, so it's huge.
They getting fucked up on it.
I don't know how to get out of here.
Incredibly large, setting records this year. How many of you voted early?
A nigga won in North Carolina. A Democratic person won in North Carolina.
Yeah, and how many of you voted today?
More than half have already voted early, but I think we're going to be looking at, the numbers are showing that we're looking for a big night.
Yeah, that would be huge if that were the case, because 2020 really was the burst on that. Okay, a quick rundown of what we'll be showing you tonight before we hear from the audience. Our team compiled key moments from the Trump and Harris campaigns, and Lee is showing some of those comments to American voters along the way, and they use their computers to respond to those in real time. The lines on the screen that will show you their reaction. Red representing Republicans, blue for Democrats, and gray for independents. And our first topic, we heard a lot of this, fiery rhetoric. This from Vice President Harris.
So listen, so much is on the line in this election, and this...
Just waiting.
I love how he never, ever lets up on these bitches'
And
necks.
this time, there will be no one there to stop him.
Oh,
Not even the Supreme Court, which months ago told the former president that he is essentially immune no matter what he would do in the White House.
I'm mostly watching the gray line because we've been told so much about independents and how important they are. What did you learn with this?
So you could really see Democrats responded favorably, but independents gave this a D, while Republicans gave it an F. And one of the things that we heard from independent voters is that Kamala was supposed to be this joyful candidate. She positioned herself right off the bat as somebody who was going to be different, bring us together. She said we have more in common than divides us. And the more negative she got, more negative independent voters got towards her. And I think we saw that happen in the polls. She had a surge in the beginning and things sort of flatlined once she sort of turned very negative.
All right, here's one from former President Trump.
She's running on a campaign of demoralization. It's a campaign of hate. Her lies and her slanders are very shameful and really inexcusable. Today we're going to talk about the real character of Kamala, and a person who has no remorse for the anguish she's inflicted upon families all across America. Kamala intends to conflict and keep this misery going, and she's going to keep it going as long as she can, because that's the only way she can get elected.
Now, you can see a very different reaction here than we had with the other voters. Democrats, not surprisingly, gave this an F. Independents kind of flatlined it, gave it a C. Republicans gave it an A. I think this kind of rhetoric is priced into Donald Trump. They want to see him be tough. They want to see him be a fighter. And a lot of the things that he talked about were things that people agreed with. So I think people give him more of a pass on the tough rhetoric than they do on Congress.
All right, let's talk to some voters. I can't wait for this part. Okay, so Steve, you are a Democrat, and I understand you voted for Trump, and you live in the all-important battleground of Pennsylvania. So tell me about your journey and what the... It's been like, and why you made that decision as a Democrat.
Well, Harris, for me, it was very simple. The issues for me are fighting anti-Semitism,
oh my God.
economic strength, fighting and peace through strength. And Donald Trump, we have a 4-year history of Donald Trump as president, and he demonstrated all of that. And it was a no-brainer. It was been a very interesting reaction for people to see.
The reason Democrats always cheat elections is because they're the party of women, and women always cheat.
Dave McCormick. So that was sort of a double-edged whammy for me, but it was a no-brainer. And supporting Donald Trump was an easy decision.
Yeah, as a Democrat, you said, you know, people were reacting to that. I appreciate everybody's time. We will hear more from our voters' voices throughout the night. Let's go to back.
How the fuck does an alligator eat a shark? Please tell me that. Jesus,
Jeez, man. Coming up.
At SimpliSafe, we build advanced security sensors and cameras for your whole home, powered by 24/7 professional monitoring and Fast Protect technology, exclusively from SimpliSafe for faster police response. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Thank you, brother.
We all know Mark Wahlberg as an American movie star, but what makes him unique is what he does when he's not on the silver screen. Mark is passionate about his family, his faith, and his country. He joined me on a tour of our 9/11 mobile exhibit. With his powerful voice, he's helping us to never forget those who have sacrificed so much.
You guys are doing amazing work.
Our foundation, you know what we do. We take care of our first responders and Gold Star widows that their loved ones died in the line of duty and leave young children behind, catastrophically injured service members, and we build these mortgage-free smart homes. You're a man of faith.
Absolutely.
St. Francis of Assisi said, brothers and sisters, while we have time, let us do good.
Absolutely. We don't have to do our part. There is definitely a role for every one of us to contribute in some sort of way.
See, now we don't hold any grudge with any New York-Boston sports rivalries because of all that you guys do.
I had the good fortune of being able to visit Afghanistan and to see the sacrifice that our brave men and women actually make to provide our freedoms. I don't take that lightly.
As I got involved, I was inundated with calls about how people could help and contribute.
It represents all the great heroes that died in 9/11, and we're always going to hold it to the highest standards of any foundation in America.
Couldn't find a more worthy cause. The fact that this is something that has literally touched and affected every single person, they just have to be a part of it. And their reputation is beyond impeccable. Everybody knows where the money's going. Every single dollar. God bless you.
We need your help to deliver mortgage-free homes to catastrophically injured service members, Gold Star, and fallen first responders families with young children. Please contribute $11 a month to support their efforts by visiting t2t.org.
Welcome back. We do have a call to make. The Fox News Decision Desk can now project that former President Trump will win the state of South Carolina. So we are counting down the minutes to the next poll closing. And there you see the race to 270 ticking up on the former president's side at 32-3 for Vice President Harris as the states are called. We will continue to see that. And obviously 270 is the magic number.
Yeah, let me go. A lot of filling in of this board and these states, but some places are getting very interesting as we get closer to our next round of poll closes, which are coming up in just a little while. And that will include Florida, where the Trump campaign is watching the results tonight. Let's go to Steve Harrigan. He is at Senator Rick Scott's campaign headquarters in Bonita Springs, Florida, which has tightened up a little bit. That race has gotten interesting. Steve?
Martha, they're starting to cheer here. It's a pretty relaxed, confident mood. Rick Scott told us earlier this was the first time he's ever run for state office where he's actually been predicted to win. He said that's largely because of a strong performance in early voting. More than 8 million Floridians did vote early. That's about 50% of registered voters. And we were out there today at one ballot station, and there were people lined up, hundreds of people who stood 2 hours in the rain to cast their ballots. Some people expect counties could go as high as 90% voter turnout. A couple of items could complicate things throughout the night. One is an abortion initiative on the ballot that would extend Florida's strict abortion law. The other would be to legalize recreational marijuana. Both of those items will need 60% to win. Martha, back to you.
All right, Steve Harrigan, thank you very much.
The delay on the TV, they just got it. They just saw it. We're back with our panel, and we add Kellyanne Conway, Jesse Waters, and Jessica Tarloff. Kellyanne, you see some other things that you're watching?
Look at some suburban bellwethers coming in. Hamilton, Indiana, 70% of the vote is flipped back to President Trump. Loudoun County, Virginia, we know has really been trending toward the left. It's going to swing to the right by 8 points compared to 2020. So you look at something like that, you understand why Karl Rove today said it could be tight in Virginia. Fayette, Georgia, Trump +2, that's a place that I had said early on, Harris will have to do well there to compete in Georgia. Also, as Pennsylvania closes its polls, Brett, I think it's worth noting, Martha, that this is like political malpractice that she didn't pick Josh Shapiro between the fracking, the school choice, Jewish Americans, but yeah. I think that we'll talk about that tonight.
We will look a lot at Pennsylvania. Election night in America just getting started.
We are seconds away from 17 states plus Washington, D.C., including New Hampshire, Illinois, Tennessee, Florida, plus the critical battleground.
If we win Pennsylvania, we win the whole thing. It's very simple.
With 177 electoral votes on the line, we have the results as they come in.
Is obviously too early to call in Pennsylvania, as we will be watching that one really until the bitter end.
So Fox News is projecting that former President Trump will win the state of Florida, putting him 30 electoral votes closer to the White House. Too early to call a winner in New Hampshire, where Vice President Harris has...
You was like, you about to go back to sleep? I'm like, what? What time is it? I looked at the clock, it was 3. I said, I can't technically.
And 1 vote to the presidential winner in each of their congressional districts. Harris will win the 1st district, the rural 2nd district, too early to call in the state of Maine.
In the Southeast, Fox News can project that Trump will win Tennessee, a longtime Republican stronghold. Not a real surprise there. Further south, the former president will again win Alabama. Big numbers there.
And the former president will win neighboring Mississippi. Trump will cruise to victory in Oklahoma as well, where Democrats haven't won a single county since 2000.
And Missouri will also deliver a win for the former president. Vice President Harris will also take some big victories this hour. Fox News decision can project that the Vice President will win Illinois. Adding 19 electoral votes to her tally.
She will also win New Jersey, another reliably Democratic state. Some people have thought New Jersey might be a little bit tight, but we're ready to call New Jersey in my home state. Exactly. Voters in Massachusetts will deliver a clear victory to Harris as well, so no mystery in those states.
Staying in the Northeast, Fox News can project that the Vice President will win Connecticut. She will also win Maryland, that state worth 10 electoral votes. There's an interesting Senate race there.
Yeah, Harris will also take Rhode Island, another Democratic stronghold, and she has a lead in Delaware. President Biden
his own favorite course, but it is too early to tell. Things are where at this point.
Today, the District of Columbia, which has never voted for a Republican, and it continues not. If you look at the Electoral College and the race to 270, it obviously changes with all of these numbers. It is in the corner of your screen, 105 to Harris 72, and there you see it full screen. As we start to fill in this map, little by little, we're going to get closer to 270. Remember, there's some big states, including California, all the way out in the west, that will adjust this number for the vice president. We're back with our panel. Jessica, Jesse, and Kellyanne, we added you. Jesse, thoughts?
Are we sure about New Jersey? Oh, man, I'm sitting next to a guy that's wearing a garbage bag, so I thought the state was a lock. I guess I was wrong about that. I also just heard from a person who was not going to vote, and then his girlfriend called him and said, if you don't vote for Kamala Harris, we're breaking up. So he just drove 2 hours to the polling station and waited 2 hours in line.
Oh, I just jumped 550 and it's really mine.
And I'm not going to give you the county by county because I don't have that in my wheelhouse, but I will say I was just watching something interesting in Georgia where she's not performing as well with black voters as Joe Biden. And Donald Trump has flipped the script with indies. He's up 11 with independents, whereas Biden had beaten him by 9 with independents. So those are just interesting things to look at. Other than that, if you look at these exit polling or the Fox News voter analysis, you think this would be a runaway Donald Trump victory. I don't understand if only 13% of Americans feel they're getting ahead financially. Kamala Harris is even competitive. And bravo to the Democrat machine to make this race competitive because she came out of nowhere. No one knows who she is. She didn't run a very specific campaign. And she is making it, they are making it a very competitive race. I mean, we haven't called anything surprising except for New Jersey.
You were surprised.
I was.
Welcome to the studio. Yeah, thanks for having me so far on the evening. Not surprised by New Jersey, and I'm sorry for hearing you have to talk about that one for months. 110. It's been interesting to see, obviously, what's going on in the suburbs. If this is a harbinger of a good night for Kamala Harris, that's where it's going to happen. Obviously, you need the urban turnout to be huge, and I think Philadelphia was a big story this day, already in the first hour of Election Day polling, that they were smashing records, and we'll see where that all turns up. But what I'm really focused on is seeing, once all the exits are out, you know, what ended up being the 1, 2, and 3 most important issues. Because in Ann Selzer's final poll of Iowa, she had preserving democracy as #1. That also showed up in the Marist polling. And if it is preserving democracy, then that bodes very well for Kamala Harris's evening. And if it goes preserving democracy, the economy, and then abortion, that's definitely a good night, especially to your point, Brett, from a few minutes ago where you said that she had closed the gap with Donald Trump in terms of who's best to handle the economy and is leading on protecting the middle class and cares about people like me.
Harold, can we talk a second about Florida? You know, it wasn't close. We just called it for the former president's a big electoral vote haul. But if you think about it, you know, in elections past, Florida was a swing state.
Yep.
2022, Ron DeSantis changes that and makes a red state. And even in Miami-Dade County, the Republican is taking home a vote, including Latino vote, which could bode something else beyond Florida.
DeSantis will probably be a big part of that story. It's important to know that they also have an abortion initiative on the ballot there. Florida. It looks like it's going to
New Jersey.
Right to an abortion initiative.
Look at this.
Like
One of I'm about to say
that Trump won with maybe a little bit better. So people split the ticket there. There will go out and be perhaps some Republican voted for that. But you got a strong governor like you have in Florida. You have one in North Carolina. She's going to need that governor, Kamala Harris, to help her get over the hump there. I mean, you got a Democratic governor there and a Democratic that's now been elected. I'm curious about these suburban areas. I'm listening to Carl and now Jessica and now Kellyanne. It may be that even in Virginia, and if you look at
this nigga named Jacob Ryan.
I'm here fucking me up.
Virginia school system there, and that Loudoun County number is an interesting number. Yet you see some of the other suburban areas in Indiana.
How do you speed?
So it's interesting.
This button. This is to thrust. This is to bite.
Yeah, there you have Loudoun County.
And we put 2020. Yeah, let's look at 2020 with this now. Okay, so I want to show you guys with the Fox Insights that we have, and we can go into this county here. You see this green outline? So we can show you what the vote was at this point 4 years ago, okay? Let's go ahead and click on this and find out together, okay? Loudoun County with 96% of the vote.
My TV wallpaper looks so good. I'm obsessed.
In that county, Trump's got a 3.3 jump.
I've realized that,
the Trump team,
yes, they look good with makeup, but a lot of them look great without that shit.
Maybe that's having an impact on that. But let's move away from Virginia. There's a couple interesting stories.
He got Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, Florida, Missouri, South Carolina, Oklahoma. She only got, that's crazy.
And to the south. Remember Fox Insight here, okay? That's Baldwin.
Okay, I am all tanned up, and now I just need to blow dry my hair.
Well, she damn, that's long as fuck. What's she saying?
In Baldwin County is Milledgeville. It was the Confederate capital of Georgia during the Civil War. Now, our Fox Insight source right now, look at this.
It's basically a fend for yourself kind of night if you don't want them steak and potatoes again.
Okay.
But I'm just gonna eat the steak and potatoes because I really don't give a fuck.
Then we got that shit right there, so
Yeah.
we're okay.
I told her I needed something to drink though for real.
Yeah. What? I'll make a pack of beef ramen.
This is gonna be a little risky because it's white, and I just got to return, but let's brush my teeth.
That's her boyfriend.
In Douglas County. For the next
We're ready for the airport. Let's go. You're working the camera. You're so wait for our
17,360.
He's with Gunther. You've seen him a lot. Yeah, the dude that's standing next to Gunther, the world champ.
It's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, they just don't seem like they would be together.
Cause she's the camera girl, you know, and if you pay attention, he the whole time he's like, oh.
But what we're seeing now in Fulton County, and you got almost half the votes still out there, okay? 52% is the estimated number of votes that are in at the moment, okay? So roughly 48% out.
It's tippy time, bitches.
He's probably a huge wrestling fan.
This is Fulton County. This is
He really from Germany.
Okay? And look at the raw vote total here. It's impressive, 129,000. But look what Joe Biden did in the...
Needed to win 270.
He got
He's
105.
already at 105.
Halfway there. And you know what pisses me off, Emily? You mean to tell me the first time we have a woman actually running that's in the lead, this is who y'all give us? They didn't even give y'all hope. Emily, they put her up against Donald Trump.
I'll tell you this, Martha. Before Election Day,
She had the worst campaign ever. She had the celebrities come out.
I don't know, Joe went up against fucking Donald and won for some reason. Somehow.
Did he win, or did we just not give a fuck? This is America. This isn't those other countries that's gonna war and riot until they get an official president. America isn't like this. Who won? He won. Man, that nigga cheated. Listen, bro, we ain't got time. Niggas gotta go to work tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm like, he's in the lead by this. If she wins...
As to what Brett was talking about a moment
When does they make their decision? Like, what time do they do this?
When the nigga, whoever get 270. Sometimes sometimes it'll take days. They might not make the fucking decision tonight. One presidential election, it took 3 weeks. They're already talking about they have to recount Missouri.
There's a lot of people worried about that. Now Trump gets some of it.
But
60% of them or more go to Harris. I think that is
What are your plans for today? Same as
about one
always.
thing, about Trump and fear of Trump. But it's the same factor we keep coming back to time and again. The Trump factor in this race is being able to overcome the resistance center, which has been so dominant for 3 previous cycles. That's what that was.
Because if you were just running on the issues, that include the most important, the economy,
Get ready with me to fly to London. I am so excited. I have never been outside of the country other than Canada. So I'm actually going there for a wedding, and my boyfriend is the wedding. He's the best man, and it's his best friend that's getting married. My flight is at 8 p.m. and I arrive in London
Gunther or was
at 9
it the fat guy? The fat guy's not in there.
No.
The fat guy's in a different house, right?
Right. His wife is, I think, Maxine.
Me to fly to London.
Her boyfriend's Gunther's partner who stands in the ring with him. Hold up.
Who is he married? Biden, the former candidate, the threat to democracy was really on his lips pretty much.
Let's do Trump.
January 6th, which was
This is her man.
moment when we all thought we should fear this. Our democracy was fragile. It was the premise of the January 6th special committee.
I be having they shit in my background, Imperium. Oh, I love that.
It's ridiculous. Our democracy is pretty sturdy.
This shit cold too.
The things over
He only got
is still a factor.
He only got 3 things. She got
a political rise from January 7th, 2021 to a candidate who is at least
he's like, listen, baby, you do all the posting shit. I'm going to
stand by panel if you would.
Get ready with me to fly to London. I am so excited. I've never been.
Florida tonight.
What else people are doing?
Over there, a long way to go tonight, but how are things looking, Aisha? Things are looking good here.
She's smart. Look, she has her.
I'm trying to listen to what they're saying.
Apparently, a lot of folks are at the Hilton partying right next door and still haven't made their way over, and that's because there's a really long security line. They got to go through the mags before they get in here. So that is what's holding up the people, the spaces that you see behind me, and why that hasn't filled up just yet. I wanted to talk about. You guys were on the big screen when you caught Florida in here, and everybody erupted into a cheer. I was just talking to Congressman Mike Waltz of Florida, the great state of Florida, and he was telling me how it was a record early vote turnout, and that's why. And he thinks that's going to resonate across the country today. People are going to come out and vote for Trump.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks for taking the Jackie Homer. She's at the Harris campaign headquarters in Washington, D.C. Hi, Jackie.
Pros and cons of General Jobs. It's quite a different scene out here compared to where Aisha is. I should note that at Harris headquarters, we don't actually have Harris campaign officials because they're all in Wilmington tonight. So we're trying to get a sense from campaign officials about who was invited to this event, how many thousands of people are in the crowd. But I am hearing from people close to the vice president, sort of watching these reports come in. They're starting to my nails done right now, and then I'm going to let them leaving the field pretty stupid about it. A story close to the VP says they're seeing a big turnout in the metro Atlanta area, and as of a short while ago, they had a 10-plus point lead.
Look what they're doing at the Harris fucking.
Showing up, and also they noted that
they're just doing too much. Doing too much.
Yeah, it's like nobody.